He was trapped somewhere in the spectral shadows of the endless night. Would his torment never cease? Who could put an end to the ghastly flight of the lost phantom?
Squadron needed the mother hen. Where are you? I can't see anything. There's no place to land. And I'm running out of fuel.
On a foggy day in 1965, as reporter Ralph Kelso covered a story in the Hoboken NJ wrecking yards.
There she is, the Washington, one of the fightingest ships in World War II, and now they're tearing her apart in the boneyard. 20 years ago, men were fighting and dying on those decks. Now, she's dying too.
Suddenly, in the eerily drifting mists,
a plane, right overhead. Sounds like he's coming down.
Then a faint and shadowy form plunging downward.
He'll be killed, the crazy fool.
Don't call him that. It's Lieutenant Carver, the poor devil.
But an instant later...
No, it's not a plane. It was just some patches of fog. Who is this Lieutenant Carver you were talking about?
Carver? He was a hero who served aboard the Washington back at the end of the war. Yes, back in 45, he was the hottest pilot on the Washington with 14 Japanese planes to his credit. Then, one day at sunset, the Washington was trapped off Saipan Island.
Give him help, guys. We've got to give Mother Hen a chance to get away.
And as the night and fog closed in...
That's the last of those nips, but all my buddies are gone. I'm the only one left.
Carver was in a jam. In the dark, there was no sign of the carrier.
Half-chick to Mother Hen, looking for a home. Where are you?
Far below, the carrier was heading away under blackout conditions.
Fuel gauge near zero. Mother Hen, where are you?
Captain, Carver's right overhead. If we light up the flight deck for just a few seconds.
Not a chance. We'd be a sitting duck for any enemy submarine in the area.
Listen to him circling up there. He helped save our ship, Captain.
That was his job, and my job is to protect the carrier and the 2,000 men aboard her. We keep radio silence and stay blacked out. Until, at last...
I don't hear him anymore. We've lost him, sir.
Take over the bridge. I'm going to my quarters. Carver was gone. But for the rest of the war, the captain who doomed him kept hearing the sound of the lost plane. Dear Lord, there it is again. Or am I hearing things going out of my mind?
As the guard's story ended...
That's a great human interest story, even if no one would believe it. But how come you know so much about it?
Step this way and I'll show you.
Moments later, in the abandoned officers' quarters.
There's your answer. Back in 1945, I was Captain Masters, commander of this ship. The man who sent Carver to his death.
But what happened to you?
Carver's death was like a curse hanging over me. My courage cracked. After that, it was all downhill. I couldn't take the responsibilities of command. I was court-martialed for incompetence, kicked out of the Navy. I couldn't face people, couldn't face myself. I hit rock bottom. Porter, laborer, I took any job I could get. When I heard they were dismantling my old ship, I got this job here as a guard. I wanted to be with her at the end.
Masters, this is a fabulous yarn, even if it does sound way out.
Of course it does, because it isn't true. Tell your readers of an imaginary story dreamed up by a lonely old has-been to pass the time while he's on guard duty.
I should have known.
But then, in the eerie night...
What's that?
It's Carver again.
But I don't see anything. Nothing's out there. You said it was all a made-up story.
It's Carver, I tell you. I'd know that sound of that Wildcat's engine anywhere.
Then something seemed to break inside the old man's brain.
No! I can't take any more. I'm not going to abandon him up there. I've got to get him down safely.
Masters, where are you going?
He was back in a moment, his eyes glittering wildly.
What are you doing? Have you gone crazy?
Don't you understand? They're dismantling the landing lights, but I can guide him with these electric torches. Carver! I'll light your way! Come in, Carver!
He's trying to land a pilot who's been dead for 20 years. The man's a raving lunatic. I'd better grab him before he runs off the fantail.
And then, in the next blood-chilling moment, Kelso saw it. A winged phantom, thundering out of the swirling fog.
He sees me! Carver's coming in for landing!
Are we both crazy? There is something flying this way. Masters, you're in his flight path. Watch out or...
And in a split second of mind-crumbling terror...
Ah!
He's dead.
For the next hour, the carrier swarmed with police and wreckers.
The doc said he died of a heart attack. So what's this wacky story about a plane crash? Nobody else saw it.
But that plane was circling the ship. Someone must have heard it.
That sound like a plane, huh? Could have been this generator we were trying to fix. Watch what happens when I throw this switch.
Of course. That was the sound I heard. All the rest was an illusion in the old man's mind. I was a fool to let it affect me that way.
Ralph Kelso was drawn back to the flight deck.
And yet it all seemed so horribly real. I saw it with my own eyes.
And then he spotted it, lying on the flight deck.
Good Lord, what's this? The 14 victory emblems Carver had painted on the side of his plane. Then Carver was here. He did come in for a landing at last.
Yes, we changed the name of the carrier and the site of the wrecking yard, but only to guard against notoriety and curiosity seekers. But the facts are there, and the judgment must be your own. Do you dare doubt the awesome power of the supernatural?